nation has done a great job at making sure that we're not in some physical bondage, you guys. We're nobody's slaves over here. We're free America, right? And our soldiers have done that. And it's up to us to make sure that we're also not in a spiritual, we're not spiritual slaves. You know, that is a job that our Holy Father has done. You know, there's beaches that are red for reason. There's a cross that's red for reason. And this red is for season. This red is for season of freedom. And might we remember that we are physically free. But question our deep houses, are we spiritually free? And Shawshank meaning the moment that you are bitching and screaming and playing victim in your life, whether male or female, we've all done this in personally, you know, inside, or we've done it out loud with our mouth. We've played victim to things that seems like they're out of our control. We blame the other people, we blame circumstances, and we blame the universe as in and at large. And sometimes we even blame God. It is rarely that we blame ourselves for things in our lives. So Shawshank meaning, what happens the day that you actually get what you want? Because just recently, it happened to your dear old red dirt preacher here. Back to back to back in the last few weeks. What happens when you get what you want? And that's why I'm bringing you this Shawshank, is because a couple weeks ago, I sat in a classroom on my own damn porch. I got what I wanted. That means all the bitching, complaining, and screaming that I might have been doing throughout with family and healing that, or screaming at the universe, or circumstances, in and at large. Or sometimes I even got mad at God. It was less I ever got mad at myself. And so the point of it being, I've been blessed, and I've gotten, you know, I'm sitting in a place right now in my life where I'm like, wow, I'm literally getting everything I ask for. What does that moment feel like? Well, I'll tell you. Feels like Shawshank. I felt like Red, like Morgan Freeman, like I had just stepped out of a prison. What the hell am I going to do with all this freedom? I'm so used to being defined as a single mom. I'm so used to being defined as poor. I'm so used to being defined as all these things, because of family lineage, because of your peer group. We all come with a bag of crap that we have to overcome. Set yourself free. That's what this is talking about. I spent my whole life defining who I was inside the prison. Just like Morgan Freeman. If I was the boss, if I was the calm one, the collected, the guy to go to get tools, you know, I had a role to play inside my own damn prison of life, and I defined myself by those walls. And then Jesus, the holy journey, 11 path, call it which won't get on up here, that comes to call. And you do the work, and there comes a day where the stone actually rolls away, and you get all the things that you're manifesting. You're getting the things you were dreaming of. The things you were praying about. They literally happen. Mine are happening. And what happens that day? Did I jump up and down and be like, I did it, buy myself a cake, take myself to dinner? No, I was actually petrified. Kind of still am. Why? Well, this is new to me. I've never really gotten what I wanted. For one, chuckle, because we all kind of feel that way. And this is new to me. What do I do that I've walked out the doors of all this bitching, complaining, and pressing, and pushing, and pulling, and healing, and dragging, and letting go? Now there's no noise. There's just beauty. There's just abundance surrounding me. What? You are working for this. That's what the journey was for, Lainey. What say you? And I literally sat there on my porch, recognizing all the energy that's going on in my life. It's absolutely amazing. And I'm like, Shawshank, I don't know what to do. I have to redefine myself by the freedom I have now. What does that look like? That's almost overwhelming. And I thought, you know, in a way, you know, and I'll take this to the racial river. What if every person of every color, whether you're white, black, red, or yellow, what if you spend 15, 20 years fighting for the equality? You defined your life by fighting for equality, and what if you woke up one day to find out that everybody in every human being was transparent? That is not a color, it's transparent. I can see your organs, you can see mine, it's kind of gross. We all need to wear clothes now. But what if we woke up and all of our skin tone was transparent? That devalues, right? So a lot of people right where they stand. They define themselves by things being unfair. Therefore, I have a voice and I'm screaming for equality. That's important and it matters. But the day that we comes down the road that we're all transparent, what does it do? What does it do to that person? What would it do to you? You're going to have to redefine yourself and the equality and the freedom now, not defining yourself within the walls that are there. And I thought, wow, how potent. That's a pretty potent message. So Shawshank, and we self-sabotage. A lot of us get in our own damn ways. After we gripe because the universe is in our way, circumstances are in our way, we can't because we don't have money, we can't because we're alone, we can't because we don't have credit, we can't because we don't have family. You got God. You got God. That's all you need. And don't let that be a silly statement. God just bought me a house and I've got crappy credit. Right? Well, I'll say it. If I remove the ego, you're going to be able to see God. God put a 55 old car, like a 1955 Buick, in my driveway. He knows I love old metal and I love old cars. And a dream of mine was to always have a little hot rod. I got one. About 3 weeks after I'm parking this new God-given hot rod in my driveway with no garage because I'm in a rent house, it is amazing that within, I don't know, a month, I'm moving on the 11th. God bought me a house through my ex-husband. Figure that. Figure that. It's really easy, I guess, to go down to the bank, get a mortgage. It's really easy. It's even harder to come up with 15%. I dare you to go get a house because your ex paid for it. That's rare. It's not because I own his baseball collection and I'm dangling above his head. That's the character he is. It's the character I am. It's reflective, and it also damn just shows you where Jesus Christ is in all this. Jesus Christ worked through somebody else to love me, right? So I literally am going to be moving into a home on my own, right? I got a 55 Buick to put in it. Do you know what my annual, you guys, this is hilarious because you got to see Jesus here. I build porches. I just started doing that when I moved to Georgia. Yep, it's good money. I sure don't have it stacked up. Okay, it just goes to prove to you, the more I strip down my ego, because I could sit here and be like, oh, I make thousands of dollars, Porch Perfect's doing great, yeah, that car is amazing, oh, and I bought a house, and I can make you think that you need to value me because I got shit now. I call that bullshit. So I'll rip down my ego, and I'll tell you, watch this value system. I didn't buy a house. Jesus bought my house through my ex-husband, and I'll say that story all damn day long. Ain't no shame in that. Jesus, the one that put the 55 Buick in my driveway, because I think he loves his girl. Every time I think Jesus, I always think about that line in Forrest Gump where he's talking to Jenny. He goes, but you're my girl. I hear that. Jesus loves me, and I love him back. So he filled up the driveway, and what's funny, when I got that car, I don't have a house with a garage. I don't. Now I do. 4 weeks later, now I got a house with a garage. And the cool thing is this house I'm moving to is not even a garage. It's an old man's garage. It's got to me, I always wanted an old man's garage. If we need to take a red dirt road, we will. I'll explain. To me, an old man's garage is fresh poured concrete pad, insulated shop with ventilation, lots of hooks on the wall for your stuff, and lighting, really good lighting. Just perfect. You could eat a sandwich in my great granddaddy's garage, you know what I'm saying? I loved it when I was a kid. And guess what? This house has an old man's garage. It's waiting on the 55 that doesn't have a garage to live in. So, here in a matter of a couple of weeks, I'm going to pull the 55 into the house and just stare at the house and the car and just pinch myself because I didn't make any more money than I did 6 months ago. I didn't win the lottery. I didn't win some big, huge paycheck. My annual is below the poverty line because I work for myself. That's hilarious. I'm a carpenter. Do you think I'm going to make a lot of money? I'm also a preacher, and that comes for free. It's a different kind of currency. Do you think I made money? I put my faith in my bank and benefactor in Jesus Christ, and he's the one that's providing for me. And no shit, Sherlock, guys, it's going to be awesome because Jesus also brought a small radio opportunity to me and a TV show opportunity to me. And this is all happening within the last 3 to 4 months. I'm sitting over here like, oh, Shawshank. Yeah, what are you going to do when you get everything you want, lady? What are you going to do? Who's holding you back now? Ain't nobody holding you back now. And I'm like, wow, I have to redefine who I am based on my new freedom than my old building I was in. And that goes a lot to say with, if we did a bad deed in our life, we get labeled for that. We wear it our whole damn life. It's like we get boxed into that prison of that one thing we did, or the one decision we made, or we wait on something in God for 5, 10, 15, 30 years. You know what I mean? And then one day it's going to happen. Shawshank, one day you're going to get it. One day you're going to be free. One day that stone's going to roll away. What then? Who are you then? Without those walls defining and telling you who you have to be. Now you're out in the world like Morgan Freeman and like Red. You're out in the world. What do you want to be? It's the ocean. Swim. So there's a real fear moment, and self-sabotage is something that we do to ourselves very unconsciously. So we're very scared to leave a known quantity, and inside that prison, we know who we are. We know who we are, and we know what we're allowed to do and what not to do. And where we're capped and blocked because we literally can't walk out those doors, well, great. I can only be a half-assed self because I can't get out those doors, so it's your fault that I can't grow. And that seems fine. Blame it on the walls. Blame it on the prison. I can't grow. I'm stuck in here. The moment you're outside those doors, who are you going to blame it on now? Now, see, for 15 years, it was the prison's fault that you couldn't grow. And now you're outside the wall. Ain't nobody standing in your way. What say the man now? You're a brand new man. So redefining ourselves in freedom, not in walls and fear. And a lot of that parallel is going to ride right over to the town of religion and show you, too, from my point of view, that I don't let religion in on the porch, only love. It's one love. It's one foundational, not a non-denominational. We are one foundational, one love. And, Shawshank also being like the prison of religion. That'll force you to tell you and what to do and what you're not to do, and it'll make the person of you. You define who you are within those walls the moment you step out. It's a whole new world. Anybody want to sing for me? It's a whole new world. So, Jesus always asks us not to just do it one time, not to do it 2, 3, 4, 5 times, but continuously do it all the damn time. Be very vigilant over your personal freedoms. You thank our soldiers for keeping our physical bodies out of slavery, and thank Jesus for keeping your spiritual body out of slavery. And you got to have a hand in that. You got to have a voice in that. So get out of your prisons, no matter what they are. Stop self-sabotaging. Walk out those doors. I know it's fearful because you've never been free like that before. You've never had 110% self-accountability. All right? All of that riding on you, kid. Hashtag I got me. Hashtag I got me. So Shawshank. And it happened in my life too. I thought that I wanted some space from a really good friend of mine, and I'll be darned if the universe didn't come through with a massive job opportunity that was just fruit and beautiful for them in another state. Now, the moment I learned that, I'm like sitting in a chair like, oh, I've been, kind of complaining and setting good boundaries and kind of talking out loud and porcupine moments for how I need this friend to give me space in my life. And I think it'd be good if they did A or B, and I'm trying to kind of push those boundaries, and then all but darn, the universe just comes along and offers them an out-of-state opportunity. So I'm sitting in that moment going, Shawshank. Yeah, I kind of needed them to go. I didn't want them to go, but I needed them to stretch a little because I need to stretch a little. And it's time to not be so spiritually fat. Friends and loved ones, they help you be spiritually fat. And I need to be spiritually lean, so I asked for a little bit of space, but I thought it was hilarious how the universe just went ahead and came in and got that. And I'm sitting there in you got what you wanted, you got what you needed, how does that feel? Well, my ego flesh is like, I don't want to see them go. I'm kind of interdependent / codependent on their, I don't want them to go. You miss people and stuff. It's sad. I want to have to do everything by myself. You know what I mean? I have a great friend, so... Anyway, I'm just saying there are moments in our lives that are Shawshank, because you're going to get what it is you were asking for. And in that moment, it's going to feel devaluing to you. Like maybe you did something for 10, 15, 20, 30 years. And one day you'll be free of it and it ceases to exist. You have to redefine yourself and the freedom. Redefine you. And that is your personal freedom. And go fight for it. Jesus wanted to remind you to fight for your personal freedoms every single day. And that has nothing to do with anybody else. Your personal freedoms are up to you to fight for. That's an in-house job. All right? So just don't knock over the end tables. Anyway, I hope you got the message. It was heavy for me to hold on my back porch as these things started coming along and happening in my life. So you get what you need and you get what you want, and there's a day where you're like, I'm overwhelmed. You're checking your self-worth. Am I worthy of this? Did I manifest it? You just accept it. Aggressive acceptance. So I also wanted to point out to you where Jesus has been lately in my life. I always point out where he's been, but come on, y'all. Y'all heard me what I was bragging on. Jesus is literally filling up my life because 7 years ago, things were vacuumed out of my life. And my life likes to move in little 7-year bumps. I get lots of energy every 7 years. And anyway, this is my 7th year, and I just happened to notice that, it's just not really a big deal. But this year, I've been... watching with a close eye, and sure enough, not this year, we're not having a vacuum effect that I had 7 years ago. Now we're having a great putback effect. I have unconditional love around me. I have opportunity. I know myself more than I knew me 7 years ago. Amen. And I know God more, Jesus more. I'm more in love with the Spirit than I was 7 years ago. There's wisdom been put on me through the pain and the journey that I took for 7 years so far. The wisdom has got me sitting in front of you, and I would love for that wisdom to keep on going. I don't know where it goes, but I want to take it far. And so I still don't know where I'm going. I always tell you guys I'm in a Chevy truck with Jesus. You know, sometimes he lets me drive. I hit the mailboxes. I wave at y'all. Spiritual dope and anger driving over here. You know, so I'm just being me out loud, and it's rare to find anybody that's doing that. So it's like a Truman Show thing, but yet I can control it. Anyway, Shawshank. Shawshank, don't be afraid. Step out there and be free. Anyway, that's enough of that. I love you guys, Rick, Julie, Freedom Eagles. It's great to see you guys. Happy day, and be safe on this Memorial Day. All right, be blessed, and I'll see you guys in a bit.